put my piece onto the WaterJet table, but my head might be in the way. So to move it, I'm going to go over here to these buttons, and then they say jog left, jog right, jog up, jog down. If you left click, it's a fast travel. If you right click, it moves very slowly. So I want to jog up to move my head out of the way a little bit. So I'm going to left click. And then if I need to jog right, I can right click on jog right. Or if I just want to move a little bit, you can right click on any of these buttons. And so I'll take my piece of metal. I'll lay it on here. And then what we have here, these are all big chunks of steel that we use as weights to hold down our piece, because we don't want it moving whenever it's going through the cutting process. And you also have to think about where your cut's going to go in accordance of where you're putting these. So you don't want your head to hit one of these big weights. So I'm just going to put a few on there. Okay, so leads and transverses are me telling the machine where to start, where to fast travel to, and then to make a little cut on material that I don't need in order to get down to the depth that it needs to make the actual cut. So that's what leads and transverses are. So a lot of times on simple parts like this one, I'll just right click on lead 2, and then I'll press auto path quick. And sometimes that works. So I can look here, I can zoom in and see where, and right here actually it's telling me that there's a gap. So it went somewhere that there's an issue. There's a gap here, there's a gap here. So there's gaps in my drawing here. So let me undo this. So to undo this, the easiest way is to right click on lead 2 and go to erase leads and transverses. That just gets rid of all that stuff. So those gaps might be small enough that I can run the clean program over here on the right. So I'm going to left click on it, and then I'm going to click on these two boxes, the remove unnecessary dots and divide entities that touch the endpoint of another entity. So I'm going to press start. It tells me what it did, one gap. It only closed one gap for me, so it didn't do a whole lot. So let me try to do auto path quick again. Oh, it's still telling me there's a gap there, and then there's an actual lead in right there. So I still have some gaps I need to close. There's another lead in. So let me just zoom in on where one of the gaps was. I'll erase my leads and transverses, and then I'll just close it. And right now all I did was press line, made a line. I'm gonna have to make sure some of these touch. Let me redraw this line. So it basically needs to cross over both those other lines. I'm gonna press select those three lines, go to divide, right click on divide, and then I'm going to divide all selected elements. I only need to divide right here where I am. So what that did was, it basically just cuts it into different pieces. So I can delete the pieces I don't need and keep the ones that I want to keep. So that should have closed that up. And another way to do that, as you can see, I didn't draw it. I probably didn't draw it that straight. I can just redraw this another line from the top. So I know where I want to start. I'm going to give it like an 8-inch length. You can always put in the dimensions down here, and then the angle I'm going to put. So if you use your Cartesian coordinates, 0 is this way, 90 straight up. 270s here, or I'm sorry, it's 0, 90, 180, 270 straight down. So I'm going to put in 270 because I want it going straight down. And so that gave me a nice clean line going straight down. And then I can press line again. Start it from here. As you can see, I'm making the lines longer than they need to be. So I'm going to do a 6-inch line. Put in the angle. So if I want to go 180, so 90's here, 180 straight to the left. So those two lines are crossing each other right now. I'll select them both. And then I'm going to divide them. And that's going to let me cut off the excess. So I didn't know the exact number that it needed to be. See, here's my new line down at the bottom. Here's my old one that I just made real quick. Depends on how accurate you want it to be. So delete the old one. And that's it. So now I can go in, and as you can see, I have another gap there. I'll probably have another gap here because all three of these pieces, I copied them. They're all the same piece. So to save time, I'm just going to select this one. I'm going to copy it again. Whoop. I'm going to copy it again. So there it is. There's the piece that I want to keep. That's a good piece. So I'm going to deselect all. That's a fast way to deselect everything. Select. Just going to delete all the ones that already have gaps in them. And I'm going to press I can either press the delete button on my keyboard. That's going to delete everything that's selected. Oh, missed a couple. That's okay. I can press erase down here. That brings up this cursor, and you can just erase whatever it touches. So either way, you can select and press delete, or you can use the erase function right here. So this is my good piece right here. As you can see, these came up green. These came up green because they're not actually cuts right now. Green is actually a movement. So to make it an actual piece, I need to select it. And what I do down here, I need to give it a quality. I'll right click on quality, and then I'm going to press selected. Now you can select any quality you want. 4 is getting to be like a nicer cut. 5, it's probably unnecessary. I'm going to pick 3 because it really doesn't, it's really not very crucial. Oops, and it still came up green for some reason. Selected, do 3. There it is. Okay, so now I can select this, and I need 2 more of them, right? So it's selected. I'm going to go to copy. It really doesn't matter where they are. I'm going to press 2 more. It's asked me how many more copies I need. Press 2 more. And for some reason, it didn't copy my corner. Maybe I didn't have it selected. Control Z, undoes. Yep, I didn't have it selected. There it is. Now I can copy it. And this from, you can either just click and say about right there, or you can actually give it a distance, an angle, and all that good stuff. So say if I wanted them 4 inches apart at a 45-degree angle, and then it's asked me how many. I press 2. It's going to give me 2 more, 4 inches apart at a 45-degree angle. So now I can select each one and put them back where I had them, where I wanted them. And I wanted them down here, so I'm pressing move, and I'm just moving. And all the functions on here, anytime you do one, it'll ask you this, because you can move them precisely, or you can just move them with your mouse. Right now, I'm just eyeballing these. I can just move them with my mouse. So about right there, deselect all. There's other ways to select, like a window. Select it with a window. Move. say that I wanted about, I don't know, right there. Okay. Deselect all. Select window. And I can place these wherever I want them to be. So let me deselect all and see if I can do my lead 2 now. So auto path quick. And still giving me an error here. Let's see what this is. Might be too sharp of an angle on these ends. That might be why it's doing it to me. Okay. Transverses on this. Let me do lead 2 and auto path quick, and I'm going to see. Oh, it's telling me leads are already on there somewhere. So somewhere in my drawing there's already leads. I'm going to press erase leads and transverses to get rid of them instead of having to try and find them. So let me try auto path quick again. It's giving me some lead ins and lead outs, and it's giving me position moves, which are the green lines. And if I zoom in, here's our lead in, and this is where it leads out. So it's going to start here, cut, and then get into its cut. So I want this out here on material I'm not using. I don't want this to be in on my part. And whenever I do this, it's actually telling it to start about bottom left of my part. So let me try to path it. I clicked path over here on the right. Click on that. I'm going to click on the bottom of this line. And now whenever I zoom in, it's going to show me where it's cutting. So this thick red line with the dots in it, that's where it's going to cut. So on this piece, I actually want it on the outside, and it looks like it's on the outside. On this piece, it's on the outside, and same goes for this piece. Now on this piece, I wanted it on the inside. So in order to do that, I'm gonna have to change a few things. And this piece is on the outside as well. That's where I wanted it. And it's important to think about where it starts, because if you have a piece that you want to cut stuff out of and then cut the outside last, because if you cut the outside first and then it's able to move around on your table, the holes or whatever piece you're cutting out on the inside is not going to be where you want them. It might move since it's no longer attached to anything else. So you always want to cut the outside last. So I'm going to press reject because I want to change a few things. So you remember on this particular piece, it was cutting inside and I wanted to cut outside. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to erase my leads and transverses, and then I'm going to put them in manually. And so I'm going to right click on lead 2, we'll click V style with traverse. So I'm going to start with the first thing that I want cut, and it's important to think about where you're at, because you might want to save time. You might want to cut boom, 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 this, and then start over here, or somewhere closer, so that it doesn't have to fast travel a whole lot. So I'm going to start with this one. I want to cut the outside. I'm going to put it on the outside, pull it out, and it doesn't matter how big I make it, it's going to snap back to the size that I set in my settings. And I can show you where to set that too. So outside, outside. Now it just automatically put in a fast travel movement for me. So after it cuts this, then it's going to move up to this one, cut it, and then the next one is going to be this one. So it just put in another movement. And this one, I remember I want to cut on the inside, but when I auto path quick, it put it on the outside. So I'm going to put it on the inside, which is this direction. And then to save time, I'm just going to pop it over there and do that one. So what I want to do now, what I usually do, is if you push line, and then you go to your very first one, I like to click on the one that's unopened, or the one that doesn't have anything on it. And then I like to send this. And now anytime you want to put something on 00, there's a button down here that just says 00. So I know on every part that I make, I always start it down here in the corner. And so let me path it. I'm gonna click on my start, which is down the corner. And I'm gonna zoom in, so that's cutting the outside, which is what I wanted. Outside, outside, and then it's cutting on the inside on this one. And outside again. So you wanna look over your drawing and make sure it's how you want it. So I'm gonna press save right here, and that's how it's gonna save it. Good done. You ready? Okay, so earlier I said that I was going to show you how to adjust this because it automatically snapped to this size. So if you right click on lead 2, you can go to configure manual lead in and out tool. And so that's where you set it right here. So right now on my lead ins, I have a 40 thousandths minimum and a 50 thousandths maximum. And so that it's always going to snap to between 40 and 50 thousandths on the lead in. The lead out, I put the same numbers in. You can change these numbers so you can kind of see, you know, this one's longer and this one's shorter. You can change these numbers however long you need them to be. And this one, on constraints, I clicked on force to size specified above, so it's always going to be that size. Now if you click on allow any size I stretch to, if you make them 4 inches by 5 inches, they'll be 4 inches by 5. That's wasting a lot of material, that's wasting a lot of time. So about 40 thousandths, depending how thick your material is, this is probably plenty of lead in for really thick materials. This is the angle, and you can set that to whatever. It's just set on 40 for right now. So that's where you change that. If you right click on it, you can also change the auto path, but we can do that some other time. I usually just change the manual lead in and lead out tool and then put them all in manually because I know where they're going to be. Sometimes auto path quick will work perfect and you won't have to mess with anything and it's done. But a lot of times auto path quick will cut on the wrong side, it'll start in a funny position and stuff like that. So